Okay, well, thank you all for coming this morning. Seems like the rains are over. It's a good thing. So this Dharma talk is called Consciousness Without Filters. Each moment arrives as it is, a breath, a sound, a sensation, appearing naturally without preparation. This is not something prior to practice. This is practice itself, meeting life just where it is. Most of the time, experience is immediately shaped, meaning it's interpreted, adjusted, resisted, or amplified. We do not meet the moment directly. We meet the activity of the mind meeting it. Zen practice is not the removal of this activity. It's the intimacy with it. The filter, and we'll call it this filter, names the familiar patterns through which experience expresses itself. And these could be stories, judgments, more, better, different, memory, fear, fixed views, projection. And when these patterns dominate, direct experience might feel layered and slightly distant. People would say we're not quite present. But this is not a mistake. This is how we function. This is how delusion appears in all of our lives. It's this filter. At times, without effort or intention, this condition relaxes. A sound is fully a sound. Breathing breathes. And the body sits. Nothing is added. Nothing is withheld. This is what is meant by actualizing the fundamental point. So that's not a special state, but it's this moment expressing itself completely, actualizing the fundamental point. These moments are not rare, and they're not elsewhere. They are not an ongoing activity of our life. They appear whenever experience is not being driven forward or pushed away. This cannot be grasped conceptually. It is not outside form or feeling. It is the aggregates fully expressing themselves without any separation. So breath, patterns of light, a dog settling in the room, wind moving through the trees. Clarity is not absence of thought. It's just the intimacy of no separation. This is life meeting life directly, without substituting an idea for what's happening. So the everyday mind continues, always. It categorizes, distinguishes, judges, manipulates. But this is not a failure of practice. Thoughts arise, emotions arise, but our awareness of them arises too. And this is the rhythm of practice. Delusion and realization, they're not two things. They are interwoven. They're integrated. When the shaping activity returns, that too is our path. And when we see it, when we see these conditions taking hold, that is our practice. And when we see it, we loosen the hold. So practice is not controlling the experience. It is meeting experience as it shapes itself. If the mind were not shaping at all, there would be no experience at all. And so consciousness is just this. It's just this breath, just this body, just this moment expressing itself as it is. Practice does not aim at a purified state. It returns us to the ordinary world. The world appearing as our very activity of meeting it. And this is being time. Each moment is time fully expressing itself as activity in our lives. We're not separate from it. We're not separate from time. We are the full expression of time. The moon, in a drop of dew, that's a good metaphor for this. The moon does not get wet in the water, nor is the water broken by the moon. So the vast sky and the moon are fulfilled within that dewdrop. There's nothing missing. Such is our practice. So awakening is not the permanent absence of filtering. And some people might think that, oh, I'll never have a negative thought. I'll never get angry again. This practice, it's this immunity from life. But it's not. It's the recognizing of activity, the activity of filtering as it appears, moment after moment. So it's just being present to what arises and letting it come and letting it go. Letting it come and letting it go. See it. And you don't grab onto it. And if you're fortunate, maybe nothing arises. When grasping relaxes, even briefly, When grasping relaxes even briefly, the world becomes intimate. Sound permeates awareness. Breath fills the body. And presence meets presence. Without any resistance, this again is the fundamental point. Delusion appears, clarity appears, back and forth, breath by breath. To study the self is to see this activity. To forget the self is to let it fall away. To be actualized by the 10,000 things is to meet the world right here, as it is. And this is the rhythm of the path. This is practice. The unfiltered moment is not attained. It's recognized. It happens. It's here in the breath, here in this sound, here in this sensation, arriving as it arrives. The fish has never been outside the water. The bird has never been outside the sky. And we have never been outside of this moment. There's nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be removed. Nothing is separate. Okay. Figured I'd give a light talk before we start the session. So. Yes.
Would you explain a little bit more about the moon and the dewdrop?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's a wonderful image, and I'd just like to hear more about what it means to us in our practice.
In classic Zen, the moon is always enlightenment.
Yeah.
And the dewdrop is the human, the individual. And the moon and the vast sky is fully held within that dewdrop. It's complete. And this
Is
time,
that like saying that we're all enlightened to begin with?
yeah, it's fully held in emptiness.
Thank you.
I actually just added that line for Ren because we were talking about it and then she left. So, and I was rewriting it before, but I'm glad I
It's a
added it.
beautiful image.
Yeah.
Does that mean we all reflect everything? If we're the dewdrop, then our purpose is to just reflect everything?
Yeah. We reflect everything.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for a nice talk.
Thank you. And we hold everything. Yes, Chris.
One of the things I like about the dewdrop analogy, and I do like it a lot, is the fact that dew basically just forms by coalescing the moisture that's already present in the air onto blades of grass or tree branches or something like that. So the material from which dew manifests permeates everywhere, and when it's brought into contact in certain circumstances, sort of might when there's a certain formation of karma, that moisture coalesces into a dewdrop, and then it's capable of reflecting the moon, or refracting, or transmitting in its own small way. And then when it evaporates again, that one unique reflection is gone, but the moon is not gone. The moisture that the dewdrop was formed from and returned to is not gone. Nothing actually disappeared. Just that one particular view of it is not in the same place and in the same form that it was. And so that metaphor says a lot about our subjective experience shaped by time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dogen knew what he was doing.
In context to the speech, it's an ephemeral reflection of this moment. You know, touching it, and like you said, it's gone. And then it's recreated all over in fractals on other dewdrops, hundreds of millions of times all over the world, equally complete, equally ephemeral. So it's an analogy that never stops giving. So, yeah, it's really wonderful.
I was just gonna say.
Yes, Tiffany.
Not only is it ephemeral by its nature, just to sort of continue this analogy, but that each and every instance is unique in its own sort of coalescence of dew, essentially, that no two dewdrops are ever going to be the same or of the exact same shape or contain the exact same molecules, that it's always its own completely unique experience, I guess, in its own way. And I think that that's also part of the analogy,
Yeah.
if I'm understanding it right.
And as we get into the Genjo Koan, you know, right here, just now,
Right,
but never repeated, never held, you know, that's the dewdrop. You know, it's constantly changing, so fragile. Can't hold it.
right.
And, you know, that's this practice period. Yes, Rachel?
Thanks, Spencer. And I'm also reminded, kind of alternative direction, but of, I think it was Suzuki Roshi and someone else as well, referring to practice being like walking in a mist, so fine you may not even see it, but after, you know, time, there it is, time, you're drenched. It's not like a downpour. It's this very fine mist you might not even realize, and you are drenched with it. And somehow the what everyone is speaking of is the dewdrop coming out of the moisture and then, you know, renewing, eternally renewing. It just to me has a correlation to his metaphor as well.
Thank you, Rachel. Anyone know where Mike is today?
Mike's taking care of himself.
Okay, good. Joel, you had a question?
Well, I first want to thank you for a very, very beautiful talk. It really, in a way, said it all. I've just been like hearing what Chris said and others, and Rachel, like just extending this metaphor was arising in my mind, the moon and the dewdrop, First, in the sense of the dewdrop is present and then disperses into smaller bits of water, and like that, each of those little bits of water reflects the moon. And they're so small we don't realize it, but they do reflect the moon. And that then I was going, like, it's not beyond water. Like, everything reflects the moon, reflects the sun. And, so that, as everyone has said, it's a wonderful metaphor, and it can go beyond. The reflection is clearer in water because we see the moon in water, but actually, um, you know, the moon is kind of somehow in everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I,
No, I see what you're on to, you know, it's reflected in infinitely, but
yeah,
you know, if the moon is enlightenment and it's reflected infinitely, you know, we say Dharma gates are boundless.
yes. Well, it's
As
really
it's-
like the diamond net of Indra. Everything is reflected in everything else. Uh, you know,
yeah,
like each dewdrop, the moon in each dewdrop is reflected, you know, infinitely across the whole thing. I don't know. I love this sort of stuff. But yeah,
yeah. There's so many interesting
yeah,
Dharma gates within the dewdrop itself.
absolutely. It's boundless, like you say. It's boundless. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, Mitch. Mitch, you're on Alvin mode again.
I'm fascinated by this recurring glitch.
I like when the lips move with it.
That's very interesting.
Hold on, Mitch. We'll
Is
wait.
this any better?
That's so much better, Mitch.
No, it's not. Go back to chipmunk mode.
Yes, Mitch.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
No, you're perfect. You're perfect.
all right.
Well, I'm just gonna have to put up with Alvin because I can't make this other microphone work.
No. We could hear you. You don't have to
good.
sing "I'll Be Home for Christmas." It's okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm still gonna figure this out.
No, you're
Mike,
fine.
I might need a little educating here, but I've always thought of the dewdrop more in a dependent origination thing that everything is captured in the dewdrop. A simple dewdrop has captures everything, is everything. So I need some education maybe on this.
Yeah, I think we started with saying, you know, the moon and the vast sky. Everything is captured in that dewdrop. It's complete, it seems. For the moment, it has this amazing capacity to reflect, just like you.
All things just all. But what about the dependent origination idea of all things? I mean, it's everything. It's something. Everything's captured in something as simple as a dewdrop. Is that?
Yeah,
Is that?
of course. It's just another Dharma gate within the dewdrop.
There's a portion in the Platform Sutra where Wei Ning goes, this reflection of the moon on the water can mean so many things. It's not just one thought. It's not just. It can be many things.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it in terms of the Genjo koan, in terms of capacity, the dewdrop could hold the smallest star, it could hold the entire sky. Its range is infinite. It accommodates what it needs to accommodate in its reflection. It just happens, and from a dependent origination standpoint, it holds everything, but it holds the emptiness of everything. It's not real.
Jane wants to speak.
Jane, yeah.
I have something I wanted to just add a little bit more about what Rachel was saying. I think the example that came out of this was something Katagiri Roshi talked about one time, which everybody was complaining about why this practice takes so long. And what happens when we just forget it and throw it away for a while? Can we still go back? And he said, practice isn't something to think about at all. All you do is just come in, sit, practice mindfulness during the rest of the day. He said it's like a person walking in a heavy fog, and their roads get wet just by walking in this dew-like moisture, and their roads get completely wet. And they didn't have to do anything, they didn't have to think about it at all. All they did was walk through that heavy fog, and that's what happened. So that all you have to do, you never have to think about practice. All you have to do is just practice. Just come in, sit, and be mindful for the rest of the day.
Maybe you'll get covered in dewdrops.
Your face and your robes.
Any other thoughts?
He gave another example. He said by sitting all the time in a place with incense, he said, again, you're never thinking about practice at all, but after a while when you walk out of the zendo, everyone could smell this beautiful incense smell on your robes, and you haven't done anything except sit.
Is that the stink of Zen? All right. Okay, so we have service, Chris, is that correct?
I think that would be great. Service and then lunch.